All right, let's keep going. So in the last video we had started the tokenizer, I think, which means that in the compile step we should more or less have this step done, or not done, but like we have a hole through, and then I guess we'll see what to do next. Let's add parsing for simple tokens. So let us say switch on the current jar, and maybe we want to make it a partial, and then we can say disable copilot. If it's this, it's gonna be something like, let me just recall what we call the tokens. Right, so it's gonna be left dot left paren, and so on and so forth. Let's see if it compiles. It does not compile. I have forgotten how to make switch statements. So 73, it's saying expected. Right, because we have to do this, I think. This. I am so confused. It's because we need case. Oh my god. And it's not an arrow because that's kind of rustish. And we can only do switch on enums. Well, okay, so then it's gonna be something like this. If current char equals I am starting to miss rust. And it's gonna be a lot of stuff like this. So perhaps we should make a little bit of a procedure called, let's call it char match. So it's gonna be taking a target, which is a character. Forgot how to, maybe it's this, maybe it's just U8. And it's going to be taking a token type, and it's gonna return a token. Actually, how are we gonna do this? So I wanted to do something like maybe, try to match this guy to, and then automatically return, but we cannot do that. So maybe we want to say token and match, and if match, then we just return the token, and then do that a bunch of times. So we could do something like this. And then say, and should return token and a boolean, something like that. And then we say if target equals the character, then we return make token for that type and true. Or is it called nil? So something like that. So of course it doesn't like that. And I keep adding semicolons, which is not necessary. So let's see here. There's something wrong with this syntax, I think, is the problem. Right. Can I just do like that? Okay, I'm doing something silly here anyway. So what do you want to say? Okay, if the type is right, it's actually I did it the wrong way around. So if the type is a left parent, then the target character is this guy. And now it's complaining about this. So how do we return multiple things? It's not like that. It should be like this. And then this has to be optional. How do you do that? Okay, so perhaps what we're going to do is not return nil, but return an error type. So we're sure it's never used. And then basically we would have to do this, which is really horrible. Maybe we do something like this. And it's going to be some kind of array that has that one, that one, that one, that one. Actually, we don't have these guys, right? Somehow. Maybe I'm just missing them. Semicolon. I'm doing it in a really weird order. Minus plus. Slash star. Bang. Well. So let's start with these guys. And here I want to replace whatever it is with colon, whatever it was, and that guy, and a comma. And then actually let's also get it over there, something like that. And maybe we need to do something a little bit different, like this. And then let's take this guy and let's call it input and target and the type. And then we'll just say if the target equals the input, then we'll make one of that type, and otherwise then we'll go here and we'll say for or target and type in single chars. So we try to match the current character to the target, and if it's a match, we will return the token. Otherwise we keep going. Let's get rid of these guys. And it did not work. Expected closing parenthesis got comma. Is it because okay, so I think I need something like this. I have to say it's a U8 and a token type array of some indeterminate length, and then that also didn't, because this has to be brace, this one as well, but no, that was not it. So let me make a test. So it doesn't complain about that. This is correct syntax. Somehow this is wrong. And I wonder why. Okay, I don't see any way to do it. Let's do this. Like, it's not good, but I think this should work. I hope this works. Otherwise I'm like completely lost. And for these guys, what do we have to do? We have to match something like this and replace that with a token pair, and then maybe whatever is inside, but not really, but let's start with that. That was not. Can I just remove these guys? Does that compile? Did not compile. Because I accidentally removed this one. Okay, we're making some kind of progress. This probably does not work. Yeah, so we have to say target type. Target is target type 0, I guess. I'm kind of getting tired of Odin, to be honest. Do I have to do that? Ah, right, because now it's not. Now it's this struct thing. So this is gonna be target. Let's call this one it, like in Jai. So it dot target, and type is it dot type. So that seems to work. And another thing we have to remember is to actually, before we return, we should increase the position of the pointer by 1. And that could mean that it would be nice to have a function to do that, which we can call advance. Won't take any argument, but it will return a character. So then we'll say tokenizer. So the thing we want to return is whatever is at the current pointer position, and that was wrong. And then we want to increment the pointer by 1, like that. And then here in the current char, that should be advance. I think. We advance. Let me check out the main function over here. Okay, never mind that. So we don't need this guy. That already happened when we advance. So basically the way to think about it now is when we advance, we get the current character and we make it ready for the next one. And then here, I guess we also advance. This one we don't need, that was already handled up here. Then let's leave this for now. Let's try to say Odin run. That did not work. And now it's skipping the first one when we try to pass a number, which is kind of weird. Right, because this one we don't need. This one can be advanced, and then we can get rid of this. And then this can be advanced as well, I think. Let's try to run that. Still, it doesn't work. But this should be something. So I think that's correct. Okay, breaks on single characters, of course. Of course. So we need this thing. is at end. Okay. So if we pass the current character, get the next one. If it's still numeric, then we add it to the thing. How does that is it end work again? Okay, that's not gonna work correctly. It's a little bit hard to reason about. Maybe it's just... No, anyway, I think this is correct, but I know it's not. So something is wrong. Print line current. Okay. It's because it's too many loops. Okay, current is 1, which is correct. So why? Okay. It's because of this thing. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky writing these tokenizers. I don't think it should be that tricky. So that... I need to remove all this debug. It's confusing things. Right, and we cannot put it here because that then skipping. Skipping doesn't work. So I think it has to be like this. That's a bit annoying. And still it's including one too many. So maybe this one has to be really -1. And that also didn't work. Okay, that's correct, I think. So we see here if it's numeric, then we get the number, then we go in here, we go one forward. Eventually we reach the space. don't like it. Okay. So let's take this example of 1, 2, 3. So when we get to this point, we have that current is 1 and the pointer is actually here. Then is_end is not true. Then here the pointer is now this place and current is 2. So that's numeric. We add it, that's fine. We are not at the end because the end is at this point. And then here, 1, 2, 3. Here and the current, actually we're here and the current is 3. And actually in this example we have a space. So the end is actually there. Okay, so the current is 3, but we are pointing at the space, so we actually enter the loop again. We add the current. We see we're not at the end. So then we advance, which means the pointer is now here and current is space. Okay, that's the problem. So maybe we need not P, but peak. Peak. So advance is kind of when we're sure we want to consume. What if we do this? So let's have a look at what we have now. If it's space, then we can try to go to the next one. But if that means we're at the end of the file, then we just stop passing. Then we want to see what the next one is. All right. And then we go here. So if we have just found a number, then we add it. we go to the next number, we look at it. If it's a number, then we add it. If we are at the end, that doesn't really make sense anymore. What if we reach the end here? So really it should be like that. These kind of belong together, these two statements. Then if we're not at the end, we look at it. If it's a number, we add it. This one doesn't make sense right now. So it was a number. So let's try to go to the next one. But if we're at the end, again, we just return. Otherwise, we take a look at what's there. And then whenever it's not a number, we go here. I hope this works. Did not work. Because this is now wrong. All right. Cool. So at least for me, the way I think about it, it's important to have looking at what we have and stepping forward as two separate things. Just because sometimes the way they interact can make it difficult to reason about if they are not separate. And now let's test the thing we actually added. Great. Okay. So as soon as we have something that's not a space, then we end up here. We see that, okay, it does actually match. Okay, so it did actually match. So maybe now we want to advance to say that we've consumed that token. Still there's a problem because this one, this try match makes the token. So how about this? How about this? And then it's kind of redundant function anyway. So if current character equals the target, then we can consume it. And then we can make a token that has the type. Great. And we should have braces, we should have dots, slashes, stars, and minus and plus. And spaces and stuff also works. Great. So I think that was already a lot of recording time, because it kind of messed me up. So let's call it here, and I will see you in the next one.